And welcome back to Flexible Games, where we are playing Minecraft and working on our world here. So I moved the pulverizer from the kind of the end of the line over there over to this main line over here. So it's just a little easier to get to. We've got the AE system there, and just the basic system up and running for inventory management. You know, just the basic stuff in here is all we're going for to sort of ramp up to a bigger, beefier build. So, one thing I'm going to do, I want to upgrade our pulverizer because the pulverizer does good work, but it's slow. And we have a lot of ores to process. So, unlike a lot of people, when I process my ores, I leave them in dust form. I don't immediately smelt them into ingots. Because then when you need to make some blend or when you need to make something, some alloy, you then got to re-grind them back down into the dust form. So I leave them as dust form and smelt as needed. And we'll get into smelting speed and everything very soon with Mechanism, because I am a big fan of the new scalability of Mechanism. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful system. So if I want to upgrade him, what we use are called kits. So you do a search for kit, these little arrow things here. So hardened upgrade kit, reinforced, signalum, and resonant. Resonant is the top tier. Obviously we can't do creative because it's not a creative game, but creative is just turns it into a creative version and just produces stuff for you for free, and we're not doing that. So if we look at the requirements for these kits, Invar, we made that. So we've got that. Bronze, easy enough to make. If we look at the reinforced, that takes Electrum. We haven't made that yet, but it is a fairly simple thing. It's just gold and silver alloyed together. Make Electrum. So we might even be able to get up to the reinforced level, and then we can do the kits, the reinforced conversion kits, basically allow you to upgrade something in one motion, which is that's a really nice add. I'm really happy with that. So let's focus on bronze first. We need some bronze. So if we look at bronze and we go to casting, and we click on this, then we click on alloying up at the top, you'll see it is 3 parts copper, 1 part tin. So if we go over to our ores, this is kind of why I do this. Over to our ores, copper, we've got 27 copper that we can use, and tin, I'm pretty sure. Silver, do we not have tin? Oh, there it is, tin. There we go. So that's 3 parts copper, 1 part tin. So if we put the copper in here first, because it smelts quick. Tin actually smelts faster. It's super fast. But when you're alloying, you can see the block in there. It actually physically puts the blocks in the smelter as it's melting them. It's pretty cool. That you can see them in there. And then when the liquid is in there, you can actually look in and see that there's liquid in there. Liquid metal, which is awesome. So when the copper is in, just about done. There's the 12 blocks. We're going to smelt down the tin. See how fast that smelts? Oh, it's beautiful. And there we go. We are now making bronze. And that's going to alloy relatively fast. My server, my poor computer, is trying its hardest. So as soon as this hits a block, we can toss out a block of that into a casting basin. Obviously, it needs to hit one block in here before we can do that. So as that's pouring, it's actually alloying more and more and more. So let's see if we can make Electrum. I don't want to do too much of this stuff. because we're going to need the silver and stuff later on. So 1 part gold, 1 part silver, that makes electrum. And there's our first bronze. How much do we have left? We almost have enough for 2 more blocks. So there's 7 and then 8 and then 9. So there's 2 blocks. So I can pour this one and this one out. So with this block of bronze, let's go over here first. Let's undo that. So now we've got bronze in the system, which is awesome. So let's look at this hardened upgrade kit. We can actually make a bronze gear now, and then we can then craft the hardened upgrade kit. Now we could throw that on the pulverizer at the moment, but I kind of want to run into electrum a little bit here, and I'm pretty sure, well, this is kind of taking its sweet time. I really thought it was going to alloy faster than this. It is literally doing it by the millibucket. We got 2 more blocks there, though. Let's start pouring those. So yeah, I rarely keep my ores in block form. If I need blocks, I usually craft them from the ingots. So I store my ores in pulverized dust format. I smelt them in bulk as needed, and then if I need blocks, then I craft the blocks on top of that. There are compacting drawers that will store them, but there's a little issue with those. It reports, let's say you put 9 ingots of iron in a compacting drawer, and I can pull those up. So a compacting drawer. Let's say you put 9 ingots of iron in. Well, if you have an automation system, it's like an AE system with a storage bus, it's going to report, yeah, I have 9 ingots of iron, but I also have 1 block of iron, and I have 27 nuggets of iron. So, no, not 27, 81. 9 times 9, duh. So it's going to report it has all 3, when in actuality you only have 1 or the other. So I tend to shy away from compacting drawers because of that. It's just easier to debug a system when you don't know what's wrong. It's like, oh, what's wrong with my system? Why isn't it crafting, you know, XYZ? And it's because you're you're misreporting how many materials that you have. All right, we have another block of bronze. Another couple blocks of bronze. This is, you know, and bronze is going to be used quite a bit, so I don't mind having 12 blocks of it. The electrum, though, that, I mean, we're gonna be able to craft 4 blocks of electrum with this setup. Now, the big question is, do any of these, gold or silver, alloy with copper and tin? And the answer to that is I don't think they do. I don't think there's like a gold copper or a gold tin alloy, and I don't think there's a silver copper or a silver tin alloy. Okay, there's another 1 block of bronze. So we will soon be able to do this way faster, because if we look at bronze, we're alloying it directly into the molten bronze right here. So we're alloying it directly. The alternative way is to do the blend, and you need the pulverized ores to do that. And you get the blend, which you then can smelt into the bronze ingots. So this is probably one of the last times we're going to be using the smeltery to alloy anything, because once I get that pulverizer upgraded and going, we won't need the sheer amount of alloying process, because we'll be able to make the blends and then we'll be able to smelt them down even further. So with this really close, we're down to the last few ingots here. You can see it's breaking it down into nuggets and millibuckets, and I have no idea how many millibuckets a nugget is. There it is. 1 block of bronze left. Start that up, and let's smelt some gold and some silver. They smelt about the same speed, and there's the thing empty, which is nice. And we're using quite a bit of lava in this process too. But this should immediately start alloying into electrum. And there it is. Electrum. Molten electrum. And it should give me 4 blocks of said electrum. So as soon as we get one block here, I'm going to send that out into a casting basin, because we need a little bit for the conversion kit. And again, to anybody who's watching, I'm progressing through these mods slowly to allow people a little bit of time to absorb the information. Otherwise, it can just become overwhelming so quickly that they get discouraged. And I want to slow things down, let people absorb the information. Okay, so there's our electrum. So now let's bring our kits back up. And the reinforced upgrade kit, we need a silver gear, which we actually have silver in the system. And what is that? Oh, we need hardened glass. And that's pulverized lead. Okay, so let's grab some obsidian. I'm going to get 4 obsidian. Whoa, the lag. The lag spikes are real. You haven't have to look at getting a server to host or something. Just because this is a little on the laggy side. So the one thing that we're going to need to craft the hardened glass is an induction smelter. So let's look at that. Machine frame, we're going to need a tin gear with a machine frame. And this is why I love the AE system. Oh, I love the AE system. And one of these. We're going to need a couple Ingar gears. And now we can craft this. Just like that. How easy was that? And again, shift click the middle, and it gets rid of all of those. We want to unlock the what is it called? This metallurgical flux slot. It's bizarre, but the induction smelter, this thing opens up a lot of recipes. There's a lot of recipes that this can do. Really advanced stuff. Not the least of which is... Did it finish? Oh, it did. So we need like 4 pieces of lead. And this should get us... So lead and pulverized obsidian should actually get us... I think it's 2 hardened glass with each craft. Yes, 2 hardened glass. So, with that, I can make the reinforced upgrade kit. Just like that. And now with both of those in there, I can do the reinforced conversion kit and then slap this, loud noise. Now it's holding more power. I just doubled the amount of power that this thing is going to be using when it crafts and stuff. And I opened up 2 augment slots. I want another conversion kit. I want to get my induction furnace up to at least that level. So we're going to need another bronze gear. And there's the hardened. We're going to need a silver gear. There's the reinforced. Oh, the lag is real. There's the conversion kit. You just right click. Bingo. Now We just boosted this power and gave it 2 augment slots. So let's look at augments. Aug. So all these ones down here, these are all the augments that thermal offers. And there's a ton of them, all for different machines, and there's some for dynamos only. There's specializations, a lot of different options, and we'll go over the majority of these that I actually use. Some of these I don't. Some of these weird dynamos like magmatic, let's see, reactant dynamos, enervation dynamos, numismatic dynamos. I don't ever build those, so let's just ignore those for now. What I really want is this auxiliary reception coil. Processing speed. So let's see if I can get a couple 4 of these. And this is going to use a lot of gold. So let's check our gold supply. Oh, we got some gold. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can have these in your hand, right-click a machine, and it'll install them. Or you can just shift-click them into the machine directly. And you can see these went, they were 20 RF per tick maximum power. We upgraded them to reinforced, which brought it up to 40 RF per tick. Then we put in the 2 augments that brought up to 120 RF per tick. 120 RF per tick with these are only able to produce 40. So one of these machines is capable of consuming 3 dynamos worth of power just on its own. But let's go grab a little bit of ore and see what happened. Let's get some iron, some copper, tin, silver. Let's just do all of the things. I don't really need aluminum, so I'm going to leave that be. And because the pulverizer has the input and output automated, there we go. So we're going to put in, let's put the platinum ore in, all the ores. Let's auto input. And now it is processing really fast, and it's spitting out 4 dust for every ore it processes. We've buffed in the builder's pack the amount of ore you get. So instead of just, normally it just like doubles the ore, we quadruple the ores. Same as the smeltery. You get the same return in the smeltery as you get in the pulverizer, as well as what you get in the mechanism enricher. So you get the same return no matter how you choose to process the ore. So obviously we've got some platinum. Iridium we're not going to use. We don't ever have a need for iridium. It's just sort of the, I don't know, the secondary chance of the pulverizer. So this will process all of the ores in here. Just tons and tons of ores. Now it's doing iron, and there's going to be a lot of iron that's going to come in here. It's going to fill this up because we got a lot of iron. All right. The next thing we want to think about is how we want to smelt and process these dusts into ingots. Let's go to smelting. So a dust goes in an ingot. Pretty straightforward. Well, we've got a whole lot of machines that can do that. So we can do a redstone furnace, the same furnaces that we're using for our charcoal system. We can smelt, no problem. The induction smelter uses it to basically alloy. So if we need more invar, we can do pulverized iron and nickel to make invar if we wanted to. Or we can craft the blend and smelt that. So there's a couple different ways to go. We can take, we don't really have coal coke, so we can't make steel in the induction smelter. But we could take some pulverized charcoal or pulverized coal and make that into steel. That might be an option, actually. That might be a good option for steel. Because we need a way to get into steel so we can get into mechanism, so we can make, you know, even more steel and stuff. So magma crucible, smelt it down. That's pretty straightforward. So yeah, we have a lot of different uses for these pulverized dust, which is why I like to use them. I like to keep them in pulverized format. So I'm thinking about let's throw some coal up in there. I'm gonna throw like a stack of coal into this, in the queue here. So it'll process all the iron out of here. Then it'll go on to probably silver, and then lead, and then tin, and then copper, and then gold, and then probably get me my coal. So a lot of ores that are going to be processed here. But then I can actually make some steel in here, and if we look ahead to mechanism, so like the do at MEK gets you all the mechanism related things, and then we can do like smelt. So the energized smelter, this is, you know, this is a really nice smelter. Fully upgraded to the elite tier, it can smelt like 7 things at a time, which is awesome. But of course we need steel for this. And we also need these basic control circuits, which is osmium with redstone infusion in the metallurgic infuser. So we need a metallurgic infuser. So mechanism, you know, as I've learned it, and I have had to learn it on our other server. There's a barrier of entry to it. You know, this can kind of be daunting looking at all of the different things in here. But in the end, it's absolutely worth it. You can build a system to automate so many things in mechanism. We just want to go gangbusters on that. We want to go for it no matter what. So yeah, I have no qualms about getting into a lot more mechanism going forward. Oh, we still are working on iron. Wow, there's so much iron in here. Look at all that iron. But it's much faster. I mean, this is so much faster than it was. And our engines, kind of look through our engines. If you see in the tooltip above, if you are wondering about power, if you look in the tooltip above, if they have power, so obviously that one doesn't, but that one does. That means this one is basically idle. So you can kind of gauge how much power you're using based on how many of these machines are going. And we can upgrade, just like we upgraded the machines here, we can upgrade the dynamos. So these are just basic. You can see basic at the top. These can go all the way up to resonant as well. And we can get this 40 RF per tick, and with the right augments and upgrades, we can get it up to 600 RF per tick, which is really nice. Actually, scratch that. It's probably, I can get the compression dynamos up to 600 RF per tick. I'm not so sure about the steam dynamos. That might be a little trickier. Looks like we are finally on the last bit of our iron. Look at all the iron that we've gotten. This is why I like to automate this stuff. So the next big thing that we're going to want to do is get some pink slime, because there is a block that I want to make called the Stoneworks block. It's a machine, Material Stoneworks. It requires pink slime to build, but it is so nice in how it operates. Oh, it's just beautiful how it creates things for you. I'm super excited to get those going, because you can basically make a glass gen, cobble gen, sand. You can have silicone. I mean, it's just it's wonderful. It's a wonderful block. It's a little OP, but for those low level things like glass and silicon, it's vital. It's so essential. And to get to pink slime, we're gonna need the mob slaughter factory. This is kind of a horrible name for this thing, but let's craft this up really quick. And we're gonna need 2 iron swords. We're gonna need 2 iron axes. Well, I hope I have enough iron in here. Holy cow. We're gonna need a gold gear, which is basically an iron gear with gold around it. And then we'll be able to craft the mob slaughter factory. Okay, let's not point this towards the farm while we just look at it. We can turn on its radius, so there is the size that it is looking for. And this thing should make us not liquid meat, it should make us pink slime. Maybe pink slime is liquid meat? But if we look at pink slime can be obtained by killing a pink slime that spawned when placing some pink slime fluid in the world. So pink slime, is there a thing in this? That is the usage. I guess not. Pink slime bucket. Yep. Mob slaughter factory makes pink slime buckets. So machine outputs pink slime buckets. So this little guy here, we're going to want to give him a little bit of power. Oh, there's the pink slime tank right there. So the meat tank, not so much enjoyable. I don't even know what I want to do with that. But the pink slime tank, that's what we're going for. And we've got a lot of cows to sacrifice, but that's going to have to wait for another day. So that'll do it for this episode. And I thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.